Pleased to say that Sean Dyche is waiting to speak to us live at Stamford Bridge as it calmed down in the tunnel. Sean, I heard it was a bit lively at the end there.
Well, I don't know what you're allowed to say anymore. Handbags, man bags, bum bags, some kind of bags was happening in the tunnel. I didn't see much of it. I was out clapping our fans who have been tremendous all season. It's a long way down here on a bank holiday, and they've come out in numbers again.
Well, the way that you were received by the fans and the way you were applauding them, does that tell us that you think that point has got you over the line and you can start worrying about next season now?
Well, you've got to think so. I mean, you know what it's like. You want it facts done. Especially when you look back at Christmas when we had 12 points out of 19. It's nice to be in this position now. The players have been tremendous. You know, to come mentally to get through that period and come out, and I think that's 28 points now in 16 games. People don't always understand how powerful that is. That's a really tough thing to do, and I think the players have been magnificent in doing so.
And did tonight almost sum it up, Sean? I mean, what did you like about your team's performance there this evening?
Resilience. You know, we know we have to show that. We've got no choice. There's teams that have more technical prowess than us for sure in the division. We know we've got to be resilient mentally. We've got to be resilient. We're doing all the basics. There's got to be an honesty of the way we work as a team. But also, that's the record number of goals we've scored. You know, 44 goals. A lot of noise made about this season. People have actually described it as a bad season. I think it's been a fantastic season. Come through the beginning to get to where we are and all the challenges along the way, injuries, etc., etc. I don't think we've cried it in too much. And I think they've done magnificent, the players.
Sean, you've mentioned a lot this season, the first half of the season, and that you need to go back to basics. And when we watch Burnley play, we always think the basics are always there. Could you go into a little bit more detail in what you actually mean, what was missing in that first half of the season?
Yeah, like anyone, we try and build year on year. So we were hoping in the early part of the season to try and open up slightly, you know, try and be more effective in the attacking third and progressing through midfield. But the confusion that we had, the injuries that we had, made that difficult. And around the Christmas time, you know, we as a staff as well had to look at it, and the players, and remind ourselves of what got us down the years to where we are, you know, and that is doing the wrong side of the game, if you like, and doing it well. The stuff that sometimes gets overlooked, your shape, your diligence to your shape, your honesty as a group, your team, your running power. You know, early season, as you know, up to about Christmas, we weren't really on it there. But since Christmas, I think we've outrun every opposition we've played. And they're things we've had to use because, as I suggest, it's not a black mark on my side and these players because they're fantastic professionals, but they're not always got the same technical level, certainly when you come to play at stadiums like this and the finance that's put into some of these players. So you have to find a way of being competitive. You have to find a way of taking on the challenge. And I think we've done that year on year.
Well, obviously, we know, Sean, when you go into the transfer market, you can't compete with almost every other club within the division. Is that something you and your staff have learned this season about maybe not trying to take Burnley to another level or a different style? It's about actually, let's even start the next season. No, we're going to actually stick with what we're good at and we're going to stick with that.
Well, that is the challenge, you know, because you get questioned whether you stick with it or not. So, you know, I'm pleased that we have stuck with it. But no, you do want to progress, though. As a manager, I want to progress my players, my staff. And, you know, we want to continue to develop players. You saw Dwight McNeil, you know, the performances he's had and the continued development of many players here. But, of course, you do want to add to it. It's just tough. You know, the club's run in a certain way. I think we've got a running wage bill of 58 million. I don't know how many are less than that, but I don't think there's too many. We apply good bonuses to make sure the players are on it and they want to be successful. But there's a lot of different guidelines the club works under that make it tough. But we stay focused on the team, and I think that's been a real powerful thing for us because we believe in the players and they've paid us back with that belief from Christmas onwards.
Well, your celebrations at the end with the crowd, is that because the manager gets a bonus when they stay in the Premier League?
only get a tenner. That's it.
Sean, a couple of things I think may have frustrated you tonight. We saw Tom Heaton booked after, 31 minutes for time wasting. I think that is the joint earliest that we've seen a player booked for time wasting in the Premier League this season.
It's just a strange one. You know, we play against sides who play out from the back and they take forever to start that process, right? You know, because they're looking at what's on. But our keeper's team not allowed to do that. So there was one when he got, I think it was the one when he got one, he looked to play over to Ben Mee and then decided not to, goes over to the other side of the box and then gets booked. And you go, well, how can it be? It can't be right for everyone. You know, there's got to be a level playing field. But that aside, I mean, you know, it's one of them things, you know, how many different ways can you get questioned? How many answers can you find? And I think the main thing for me was to still have the diligence to see through all the noise and the rest of it tonight and stay true to the cause, you know, and I thought they did that tonight.
Was there more noise than normal on the side of the pitch?
No, not really. I couldn't understand half what they say. I'm not the brightest, you know.
Well, how nice is it now, Sean, to be in a position where, I mean, you've got paper 3 very tough games to come as well, that you can actually relax and enjoy those?
Well, I don't think relax and enjoy is the word they use as a manager. Trust me, you still want to do well. You still want to put a team out that can be successful. You still want to win games. But I think after the season we've had, to get to 40 points tonight is a big marker, and I really do. And I think the players deserve a massive amount, and my staff as well. Because, like I say, the early part of the season, or the first half of the season, was very, very tough on everyone. But the professionalism of my staff, that goes into the players, and their performances have been magnificent. So to get to 40 tonight, and as you say, I don't think we relax in that sense, but we know, unless strange things occur, then you're working in the Premier League again next season. I think we've earned it. I think we've had to work hard for it, but I think we've earned it.
And you can say now, you'll be quite pleased that you don't have to come back and play games in July, presumably, this time round.
Well, do you know what? I was looking forward to it. It is tough. Everyone tells you it's tough. As soon as you get there, everyone tells you how tough it is. It is tough. There's no two ways about it. It changes the psyche of the players, and for some of these players, and myself included, I've worked in Europe, so therefore, you know, which one's important? Is it a European thing, which deep down you know it's not? The Premier League's the be-all and end-all, or certainly for us. And then that gets confusing. So it's a great challenge, and I think it's great for everyone. It's the first time in 50 years or so that the club have been in Europe. But it is tough. There's no two ways about it. It gets confusing. It's really tough. And it's tough standing there with this amount of sweat coming off my head because it is so hot now. I can't even begin to tell you.
It was a hot
ridiculous.
night. It was a hot night, Sean. It was a Lancashire hot pot tonight at Stamford Bridge, wasn't it? Well done, mate.
Well done, Les.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.